All right, this is Travis being Greg. Welcome to Funny Book Forensics. As you can see, Travis is taking on his role of being Greg for a couple weeks, literally, by doing some sort of weird eye thing and not speaking at the start of the podcast. I guess we're going to see how long this happens. It's just like doing a podcast with Greg. You have no idea what's going to happen at the beginning of the podcast, and then things just go. And this time, Travis just said to start the podcast, so I
Starting
don't
from
even
air
know
in
what's
my
going on.
eyeballs. My eyeballs need air.
I see. Is it because you're in space? What would
Because they're
Jack say
full.
about your behavior?
Adult toys is stupid.
Yeah. Jack rapidly becoming my favorite member of Power Pack. I think you predicted this in the second episode we did. I don't think you actually came out and directly said he would become my favorite character.
No. Jack's easy to relate to. Growing up, that's who I related to.
Jack is the best character because Jack is just like, I'm done with all of this shit. Jack would never survive in a corporate environment. No.
Or he'd just be the boss somehow.
Yeah, or he would just, either Jack is either not in a corporate environment or he created a multi-billion-dollar corporation and owns a Hawaiian island. Like those are the options. There's no in between there. Who's that guy that owns one of the Hawaiian islands? Like, it's just totally fucked up.
Yeah, I know somebody owned Hawaiian. I knew that one of them is like set up with a trust somehow with the tribe that's living on it, but that's all I know about it.
Well, that is the founder of Oracle.
Oh, you bought islands?
Yeah, he owns an entire. Well, maybe that's the one that's set up with the trust, but yeah. That's what happens when you don't turn your phone on silent. It makes a big Star Trek noise right in the middle of the podcast.
Oh, well, it's Star Trek.
What? No.
You can. Yeah.
I put it on silent, so texting me will not make it happen. Yeah, you can.
You gotta be cool messages. You just sit here on your podcast. Oh, look at this. Oh, yeah, I read it. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you always call when Greg and I are recording, so.
Because I was wondering why I never get through.
Yeah, that's why you never get answered, because Greg will just be like, "Oh, Travis is calling." That's how people on the podcast already knew who you were, besides Starlight and all that. Like you were a guest on the podcast long before you were a guest on the podcast without even knowing it.
Getting like the 7 listeners were like, Travis.
7 listeners.
Palmer's kids.
Yes. Palmer's kids do not listen to my podcast. Are you kidding? Like this would be like torture to them. Number one, anything over 3 minutes is absolute torture to anyone their age. And 2, like, they don't want to listen to me talk for an hour, right? Unless I'm like making pancakes for them or something. Like, I mean, but we have lots of kids here, all younger than, and here's gonna make you feel old, all younger than all of Palmer's kids. And you just think about that in your head for a second.
Your podcast. Do you have a name for your podcast listeners?
No, I don't.
Something like the potties?
I don't have enough. I've never had enough for them to have a name.
Listen up, potties.
No, it'd have to be something like, the funny book for it. It'd have to be, if we're going to do this, it has to be like one of the old school letter columns from the Silver Age. I'll let you ponder that as we jump into the pod and jump into the book here. We're going to talk about a book. Eventually, it has been a very interesting day. See this glass right here? I went to grab another one of these glasses out of the cupboard, touched it right here like this to grab it, and it exploded. Like, shattered everywhere. Yeah, I have the marks on my arm to prove it. You can, yeah, it was a very interesting day, and I feel like somebody's powers in here can do that to me.
That's true.
But anyway, we have Into Storm number 5 with a super cool cover.
Yeah. Which cover are we looking at here?
We're looking at the one with the giant head in the background. Yeah. Yep.
I do like this cover a lot. But man, This variant cover back here is still one of the coolest covers. I've brought up every episode.
You like the variant? Well, and on the cover we have Dejina. I'm gonna get them all. Coffee. I'm not gonna get them all. Alex. Jack. Katie. Julie.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have one more.
Oh, no, he doesn't count.
It's Tattletale.
Okay. Yeah. And Mr. Universe.
Mr. Universe.
And we're jumping right in here. So we've got Storm's End. And we get an entire Marvel page here. Alex, that looks like how Murad stole our powers.
Way back in Pirate Platform.
So we've seen this technology before. And yeah, Katie, not what I thought we'd find when we blasted our way in here. We get another reference in here. Frank's mom and dad will kill us. We shouldn't have brought him. Read into Richards of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, but definitely doing the catch-up page.
My concern here with the Fantastic Four, so now read into, right? Number one, they treat Franklin like he's their dog, not their kid.
The Fantastic Four?
Well, yeah, I mean, you think like, number one, a dog maybe has some discipline problems or a little rambunctious, so, you know, they just stick it in a crate, right, and try to train the dog. And I have never do that with my dog, but they just stick Franklin, they tamper down his powers and just make him go to bed. And then when they want to go on vacation, they just ship him off to have somebody else watch him, even though he's the most powerful being on the planet. I mean, Reed Richards is kind of an asshole. Let's just be honest.
What?
I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being Guy Gardner, and 1 being like, I don't know, who's the nicest character in the Marvel universe? Nah, I went DC
crossover 1994.
I went DC for the biggest asshole. Let's just say number 1 is like
the nicest person in Marvel.
1 is Ilyana Rasputin, and not the movie version, but the comic version, of course. Where does Reed Richards fall on that scale of 1 to 10 of assholishness? Assuming Scott Summers is a 9.
Wait, what? Wait, 10's the bad side, right?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Why was it? What was that about? Was that a jab at me?
You would know that Scott Summers is not a friend of the pod.
Do I have to do what I have to do to you? What I have to do to Gales?
Scott Summers is a jerk. Okay, fine. We won't use Scott Summers. We'll put Iron Man.
You like that fedora hat, little short kid? Is that?
We'll put Iron Man at number 9. Yeah, well, I put Guy Gardner at 10.
Anyways, God, I mean, I don't know. Reed's like, it's kind of a douche, more of a douche than a dick. He has some really horrible stuff.
Yeah,
he's done a lot of horrible stuff.
I think he's 7 or 8.
Oh, he's 11.
Yeah, I mean, he's a pretty terrible dude.
Just remember, it's okay if they treat Franklin like that because they always have Valeria.
No, God.
There's the Fantastic Six, baby. Fantastic 7 if you count She-Hulk. Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, She-Hulk can count, I guess.
They just renamed the comic book the Fantastic Seven.
I guess Fantastic Eight if the She-Hulk and the Juggernaut come as a package. But yeah, I mean, I think we're getting too far into Fantastic Four. I mean, are we settling on 7 or 8 for Reed? Are you going 9? Are you going Tony Stark level of assholishness? And Scott Summers.
He's not like a 6.
You're putting him at a 6?
Yeah, 6 or 7.
Definitely over the midline though. Yeah. Well, no wonder Franklin's mind broke and he destroyed the universe. I mean, his parents are jerks. Were they going to send him to a private school next?
He should always go stay with Dr. Doom.
He could stay with Dr. Doom. Well, anyway, we should turn the page here, and we should just acknowledge that we've got Mayhem and Franklin, and those are 2 different things in a power transfer chamber that we saw you saw for the first time in Power Pack number 25.
Yes.
Anyway, Jack is going to take care of everything immediately by smashing the chamber.
That's what he does.
As he should, right?
And he gets a point.
Yeah. And a harangue. A warang?
Right.
A warang. And a boom. We get all sorts of things going as Katie drops a bomb on everything, too. Franklin, what would you say? He ascends from the chamber, or is he still in there? He's still in there.
I'm still worse fight chamber.
Yeah, it's not working.
Always want to be in a chamber.
Yeah, it's not working. They can't break it. It's not going well. Alex looks very stressed as usual. Why does Alex always look so stressed?
Because he's the oldest, and that's what the oldest does.
Yeah, I guess I can't. I guess I can identify with that. Well, we flipped the page. By the way, beautiful spread. You've been talking about the panels a lot as we've read this. Yeah.
It starts on the right side, moves over to the left side, but we take advantage of the left side panel bleed.
Yeah, and I actually have it up on the computer today, so I'm reading it 2 pages at a time instead of 1 page.
You can do that on the computer.
Yeah. I can. I'm magical. I think the thing here is, too, you've been talking about the paneling, right, all throughout these stories. Why doesn't everybody just do cool panels like this? Like,
Scott McCloud.
The what?
Scott McCloud.
Scott McCloud did this?
Well, so Scott McCloud wrote the book on this kind of thing.
How to write comics.
Well, more so, he wrote how to panel comics. Guy just knows a lot about panel work. And so, like, I feel like June comes from that same era as Scott, when he was kind of the lead guy on all this stuff. And a lot of the
Sorry, I said Understanding Comics is the book. I said it wrong.
Right. Yeah,
I have it somewhere back here. So
yeah, so that was no, and the 90s when you were just there, it was Tory and hands up and hang out for a few minutes. Okay, cool. It was a really nice guy. I talked to him on Twitter once. But yeah, like, here's the though. Their understanding of panel work, they've got 30, 40 years at this point into doing panels. You know, I mean, I don't know if you've caught him, but June has a very distinct style with the size.
Yes.
The stroke she wants, when characters go over the gutter, how she always has at least one of the major panels bleed. I mean, she has a signature panel style. But you know, panel work is just something like, how to put it, it's so important to the narrative structure that when an artist is not good at paneling, they're not good at sequentials, period. And it can be very frustrating when you work with an artist who's a very good artist who cannot put panels together or have anything creative with their panels for the life of them.
It's
Probably.
just very. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I was just say it's very interesting too, like how because we're gonna turn the page here to another cool set of panels, but she can easily just go from these sort of panels around a spread, and then she can go horizontal, she can go vertical. It's very easy to always tell the direction you should read the panels in. And I
Well,
mean,
I
that's
mean,
the point you're making too on the sequentials.
well, look at this. I mean, technically we have 3 on top.
Yep.
We have these bleed outs in the bottom. And we have these superimposed pieces on each.
And then the coloring again is still on point because it's easy to transition the story from one scene to the other.
From the A plot to the B plot, yeah.
Yeah, and so in this case, Coffee teleports in to grab Franklin. That's not successful either. And we have in comics what is always awesome when the villain and the hero and transfer power chambers and their eyes start glowing. So we're always a big fan of 4-year-old eye glowing. That's usually a bad thing. Hundreds of light years away. Hundreds of light years away. Meanwhile, hundreds of light years away. They should have put a meanwhile there.
Is that what the 3 dots mean?
Didn't put a meanwhile there. That is, well, I mean, it depends on where those 3 dots show up, but yeah. So in comics, I think so. Yeah. I don't know where you get your 3 dots at. So, but here, I think
Walmart, they're rolling back the prices on the 3 dots. So I'm picking them up on really
you
good
get
sales.
your 3 dots at Walmart.
I'm an Ellipses fanatic, and Walmart has them on sale. Usually in the spring. It's terrific. I just stocked out for the whole year.
Okay, well, I make a habit of not going to Walmart at all for anything ever, especially not Ellipses or any messages with them.
Ellipses and budding luncheon meats.
By the way, as long as we're talking about, I'm going to transition back really quickly here. As long as we're talking about grammatical devices and punctuation, the semicolon is hot garbage.
Why don't you use a semicolon? Oh, you're an M dasher. You're an M dasher.
I have everything against the semicolon. Everything.
That's why you're all M dash, M dash, M dash.
The semicolon is not needed. You could just use a comma or a period.
Oh.
Like you do not need it.
No, stop. You don't understand what a semicolon is if you think you're going to replace it with a comma.
I do understand what a semicolon is. You could also use a colon, period, or comma.
But it's not quite a colon need.
Yeah, it is absolutely.
You're splitting 2.
You should just write a sentence then.
No, because you want to have 2.
No, you should write 2 separate sentences.
Oh my gosh, no.
This is so easy.
Look, even Caesar disagrees with you right now. You don't have to compound a sentence.
I think Caesar also hates semicolons. That's why he showed up. He's like, I'm here.
He understands that Dad loves semicolons because he loves compound sentences. I love compound sentences.
Are terrible.
Oh my God, how do you? Oh my goodness, sir.
It's well, anyway, I should have asked this
tired to remember all the terminologies for this.
Well, Storm is lighting up the brood like I do to semicolons. And you can see here that as she lights up the brood, wait, what's happening? She was hundreds of light years away.
Oh, you mean in the comic? I was talking about biscuits. I'm getting biscuits.
Oh, well, yeah, you're good there. I was talking about oh, this is not coffee. The parents show up.
Yeah, so both the parents arguing back in the hallway. Well, not arguing. They're trying to figure out what happens with the kids. And Storm's explaining. Hi.
Well, Storm's not explaining anything yet, but I can just imagine Storm, this version of Storm especially, being really excited to talk to parents.
Yes.
What's the approach here?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm leader of the Morlocks. tell you to stop talking. Well, we get back to the page of the glowing eye Franklin.
Hold on, real quick. Again, panel work again. I want to point out verticals and horizontal builds that the page
Yeah.
layout is the same. So more likely, right, the script probably called for 3 sequentials and then on a 4 panel build, right? And then Jude probably chose vertical on one side, horizontals because you knew they were facing pages. I'm going to guess that because that's what I would get. We're row, and I would have been like, "Ooh, cool! Yeah, some horizontals and some verticals." But I see there.
And we're in trouble now on this panel, on this page too, because Jack is giving up. Not a big fan of that. But we've still got glowing eyes. And then Mayhem gives up. Is like, this is too much. As in, Tattletale has too much power. All of a sudden. And then he starts to ascend into the background. Like, what is going on here?
Well, he's starting to do exactly what you've been complaining about since we started this comic.
Yes.
He starts becoming Franklin.
Great. The worst character in Marvel Comics.
No, it's not the worst character.
The
in
worst
Marvel
major
Comics.
character in Marvel Comics.
That's Wolverine.
Yeah.
The guy is short, wears a fedora, and keeps trying to hit on everyone else's girls or teenagers. You can't tell me he's something wrong. I think he's cool when he smokes a cigar. We hate that guy. Hate that guy in real life. I hate that guy in comics.
In one of the Facebook rare comics groups, somebody was trying to sell a first appearance of the Taskmaster as a rare key. If you want to get laughed out of a Facebook group, that is a great way to start.
You remember the tarantula?
I know who the tarantula is, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, what was the Demolition Crew? Is that the one in Marvel? Or the construction gear?
The Field Crew.
Is it the Demolition Crew?
I can't remember.
I always think of them, they're like, to me, the equivalent of the Royal Flush Gang. Like, they just both show up when you just need a one-off comic for the heroes to beat the shit out of somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, the DC and Marvel both have their version. Well, anyway, I guess I'm trying to distract myself from Franklin, like, ascending into whatever this is happening. And Dejena finally chimes in for the first time in the entire story. And like, while you were trying to break the crystals, I noticed something. We can't get through the force field, but maybe we can destroy the machine that's powering it. Thank you for chiming in, the expert of machinery and mechanics who's going to school and talked about her scientific background. We appreciate you holding off on this for several pages. If the solution was to simply science this out, you could have chimed in a while ago.
I do want to say I don't think she knows what page number she's on.
Well, that's fair. I don't know what page number she's on either because there are no page numbers.
This could be all of 1 minute.
Oh, that's fair. Are we doing this in D&D time? And then Jack's like, what machine? There isn't any machine here. Wherever here is, or gravity either, not anymore. I like Jack. And then Jack's just like, pointing at the machine down at the bottom. Jack has the same feeling I do about Dejena. Just get to the point. Let me destroy the machine. Let's do it.
Yeah.
But Julie's going to take care of it because she's faster.
Well, she's actually spoken twice in this issue.
Dejena or Julie?
Julie.
Yeah, Dejena got 2 pages of talking here. All about Franklin's dream power.
All right, back to explaining to the parents.
Yeah, we're back to explaining to the parents while light years away. Meanwhile,
the ellipses moved to the end.
why not write meanwhile instead of just saying while? I think I'm being trolled by Louise Simonson here. Like,
I was just saying though, the other one had a pre-ellipses. This one has post ellipses.
well, I'm gonna go back to this script I wrote for you and just add a bunch of ellipses everywhere.
Look, everyone knows if you're over 50, you have to use ellipses for everything.
I don't use ellipses for everything.
And lol.
And lol.
Lol.
That did not happen either. I believe in the script I wrote for you, I did not use enough F words. I think that was the consensus. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that right now. That's a future version of the podcast. So we're just predicting the future of the podcast right now. Some meanwhile, in the future of the past, which is where this comic book exists. We're back after Storm explains everything to the parents. And then some guy comes in. And we find out Friday has actually done something. Where has Friday been for like 4 issues?
He was in the last one too. Or they were in the last one too.
Well, anyway, Friday has sent notice to Storm and to the ambassador and whoever these folks are to go get their kids. Like, because the kids are not all right. You're not even going to pick up on that. You're just going to now sell it. I see.
The song.
I see how it goes. Well, what we do find out is in the future, the kids aren't all right because one of the kids that melts things is on a lot of drugs.
What? Sorry, I gotta space down for a second.
Yeah.
I'm getting tired. Thanks, my eyes are red.
I know you spaced out. You totally spaced out. Like, I made another Sarah
You
reference.
made a Sarah reference. You said, let's.
And you just
brought me
like
back. You brought me
looked
back
at
from
me.
the other side.
You just looked at me like I'm insane. I think this whole book is wearing you down. Well, anyway, Dejina gets more action here, and she projects a giant 3-eyed monster thing.
But she set that up way back in issue 1.
Oh yeah, it was with her holographic projector thing.
This is the greatest callback in the history of this comic.
Would you call it a MacGuffin? Don't call it a callback. Isn't this just kryptonite?
No.
They let us know in the first issue we had kryptonite, and now they're using it again. You're so offended by this right now. It's entertaining. You're so offended by this.
I was gonna go to find MacGuffin for you, but I realize I'm getting really tired, so it's probably making the podcast boring. So I'm going to try to be more exciting.
I think you're fine. You zoned out on us, on everybody, listeners. I don't know. Travis is like, he's zoning out, but it's okay because the best thing's gonna happen again. So we're gonna throw Katie at it, and she bawams it. Jack's coming back after it, and he bounces off it again.
Yeah, it's one of my. I just gotta show everybody bonk.
Yeah, and
wait, sure.
I'm gonna say like too. I feel like the moon boots get better with every issue.
Boots were the first thing that I never seen the cover of a comic in the library when I bought my first power pack, or read my first power pack.
But Dejina is running the show here.
Yeah.
So she's found a backup generator.
Yeah, the only thing I don't understand, hang on, let me read this again real quick. Nope, dumb idea, Jenna. Anyways,
Yeah. Well, that's because Jack is, is Jack. Like, he's literally my favorite. He's just like, I just say it like it is.
it's a
Well,
large green marble.
Coffee transports the most useless member of Power Pack, Alex.
Useless or responsible?
And he throws a giant ball of green stuff at the backup generator.
I'm pretty sure it's a marble because look how it breaks.
That's true. Which crashes everything into a thud. We
Well,
get a
also,
crash and a baroom and a
which
thud
is
as
definitely a
Franklin
marble
falls down
sound.
on the ground.
Boom. Oh my god, it's the Netflix sound, isn't
Yeah. Oh, yeah, maybe. That's maybe they were going for a Power Pack television show.
it? Yeah. Not gonna bring up that we should watch that later.
I don't know. You said we should watch it, and then you said it would be terrible.
Yes.
And anyway, they use Mayhem's own little rope things to tie her up.
Yes, fibers.
And she gets one final monologue here. I spit on your pity. I am my mother's daughter. I will best you and have my revenge. If only her hand was free to wave a fist at them.
Yeah,
but it's not.
Katie's comeback is the best.
Yeah. Yeah, well, good luck with that as Katie walks away. And they head over to Franklin / Tattletale / Frank. And he's like, I knew you'd come, but it's all my fault getting captured and everything because I was too scared to jump. And maybe I maybe I shouldn't ought to be a Power Pack. Jeez, Frank, come on. Talk like a grown up. So I can read your dialogue. Then Alex gets to be the big bro and tell Frank how valuable he is and how important and that friends help each other. Isn't this nice? Like, isn't it nice to end a comic book with, like, happiness
Yes, it should be.
and belonging?
But everyone knows it. But you know what? No.
Like, no, I'm too tired to end a podcast with happiness. It must be sad. The comic must make Dan unhappy. Otherwise, all the listeners will revolt.
I love this orange. Also,
I like
they're
the
very teenage. Coffee and Jenna are very teenage. We get driver sounds back. Yeah, get in the car. I got my license. Let's go. My mom's gonna follow us. That's fine.
Yeah. And we get the time tesseract, too. It makes a reappearance.
You know,
But we get
the
the
mess-
reunion pages. I love this. We get the reunion page. It's great. Everybody gets back together. Storm is just annoyed, but happy. Everybody else is good to go. And we're all going to fly back to Earth together. Storm's going to take the kids. And they head back. We get back to Earth. Now, here's a callback I'm not sure I recognized. But we do need to highlight what Storm says, because Jack says, really literally bonkers, but Julie thinks we should tell anyhow. Well, no way. Frank's parents put a blocker on his powers. We don't want mom and dad getting them to do that to us. That's why. So now Jack is like, don't tell them. I do remember Jack earlier was like, do tell them.
Yeah, I noticed that too. And I feel like going back into the book.
But however, Storm has to get her monologue in. You're lucky to have parents. I was an orphan. I would have given anything for parents who love me like yours love you. But Jack, could your mom be reacting like that because she knows something's off, but your expel is blocking her? And then they're like, oh, you mean like Frank? Oh, you mean when you fuck with people's brains, it messes them up and they become omnipotent beings that destroy the universe.
This feels like the conversation we had with issue 0. No, one. It was issue 1.
All the things.
Am I right?
Well,
Did he
I
not
don't
say those
know.
exact words? Hey,
I
bring up the
maybe
bring back the episode, and right here, put the episode right here. Put a little block, play it back. We'll wait here. Waiters does that. Your paid editor.
I don't think we're doing this. This is what you can go verify this from issue 1 for me. Was Alex wearing an X-Men shirt in issue 1?
Wasn't Jack the one who was against, who was for telling the parents?
Well, now Jack is against it because he doesn't want to turn out like Frank, and I don't blame him. Like
3.
And while everybody's on the beach in the middle of the night, and Tattletale pulls off the best lie of the story, but not his best lie in the Marvel Universe. He tells Dad, not his dad though, the dad that's taking care of him, that he was scared and he had a bad dream and everybody came out to take care of him. And they're like, should we tell Frank what happened about his power? And they're like, nah, let him stay an innocent little kid. Good decision, Alex. Good decision. Oh boy. Well, it's interesting because if this story like sat back when it was placed in Marvel Universe time, we literally have a story where Power Pack may be responsible for Franklin destroying the universe.
Let me get something real quick.
What are you gonna get in the middle of the podcast? Like, we're almost done.
Yeah,
We're almost done. Travis is gone. He's tired of me picking on Tattletale. He's leaving. Yeah, it's good. Pack is back. I'm just gonna keep talking randomly. Travis is disappearing. Greg never does this to me, but that's okay. The really interesting thing about these books is that we're gonna go back to issue 1 and see if Alex is wearing a shirt. But we're wrapping this one up. This was a fun story. I like it. Travis has something here to add to the story.
Here.
But I was enjoying the story, and it wraps up real nice. But again, Power Pack responsible by not telling anybody for Franklin Richards destroying the universe.
Ooh, okay. I got the Hickman run, but completely unrelated to what you were talking about. So I got it here.
Is Jonathan Hickman a good writer? Answer yes. By the way, that was the answer. Simply yes.
I felt like hinge of sarcasm because he was one of the best runs of the.
I mean, to say you're having a best run of Fantastic Four is kind of like, yeah.
I mean, that's the image I was looking for.
Universal Franklin. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was trying to go back to the beach here to see what Alex was wearing. I mean, he's got to be, right? It's got to be tied together because it's how good they are. It's not. They don't show his shirt. He changes into power too quickly. I'm back to the first issue. He's laying face down in the bed, so we will never know.
Watching Reed.
We will never know. Well, Travis, before we get too distracted and start reading Fantastic Four, it's Power Pack. We're done. We've read 6 issues of Power Pack.
The future must be avoided at all costs. Oh crap, man! This is just.
You're back. Yes, I agree. The future of Franklin should be avoided at all costs. Jonathan Hickman and I agree. Louise Simonson and I agree. Only you want Franklin to ascend to be the universal tattletale. But basically, you made a combination character of Franklin and Katie for your story.
Yeah. You should buy my book. Buy my book.
Buy your book, Starlight.
Oh, it's impossible to buy now. Darn it. Damn.
So what the best part of this podcast with Travis is? It's like making a little kid pay attention for like 40 minutes and then talk about things. I now know how Greg feels every time he podcasts with me. And I start getting distracted and just looking up everything else. I don't know how you all have survived it with us, but we may have gone from 2 listeners to 1 listener. But that's okay. I think that Travis would agree that you would enjoy this book. Pick it up. It's a fun read. And
I want to ask some important questions right quick before you go, because I feel
all
like
right.
you're on the downtrain.
I am winding it up.
I have brought you Power Pack,
Yes,
a comic you were not all that familiar with before.
I was not, except I knew it existed because everybody saw those Power Pack ads in the comics in the 80s. Yes.
So let me ask you this: now that you've read Power Pack,
Yes.
how do you feel about it? Like,
Well, I like it.
Is it in the top tier of Marvel? Like a 10, which is good in my scale, unlike your scale. If a 10 is like, say,
well, a 10 was good if you're a Guy Gardner fan and a Scott Summers fan. A 10 was really good.
Stop picking on Scott.
Yeah. So are we time and placing this book? Are we putting it in the 80s or where are we putting it?
Well, first, I want your opinion. If a 10 is like the quality of, say, first word of ElfQuest, right?
Wow. Okay.
From the Epic stamp, after they brought it over to Marvel, and 1 is like, I don't know, Uncanny X-Men, right? Where would you put this?
You ranked Uncanny X-Men at the bottom?
I'm not an X-Men fan because it has Wolverine.
What about Uncanny X-Men with
Wolverine,
Gale?
like Blue Team? No.
What about Gale's
Gale.
Uncanny X-Men?
I can't do Gale. I don't do Gale's. That's. I read all her DC stuff, but I will not touch. I don't read. I tried to read recently.
You didn't read it?
I did read something that she did with it, so I was excited for it. And so were a bunch of my fans. And actually, I don't want to talk about it. I will go back to reading her DC stuff. I just don't like sometimes writers write stuff you don't like. You know what I'm saying? And I think Gale's amazing writing, and I think the book is great. I just didn't like it.
Well, okay, so we're ranking Uncanny X-Men at the bottom.
All right, I'm going to be fair. Uncanny X-Men is only like a 4. 1 would be Wolverine and Gambit. That I hate it, right? So,
oh my God, I think I have 2 issues of that. I ran into them the other day. Just putting them away.
No offense to anyone who works on the project. I don't mean you did a bad job or anything. I understand this. Or
how come you don't like you realize like people can have terrible books? Like I mentioned David McElhaney and Karate Kid series of DC.
I'm definitely not willing to talk, man. I wrote something called Robo Girls that nobody likes.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's okay to acknowledge people have a bad book.
But Wolverine and
yeah, if I was putting Marvel books at the bottom, I can give you New X-Men at the bottom instead of Uncanny X-Men.
I stick with Wolverine and Gambit being the one.
No, like, look, I'm actually supporting you here. No, I'm putting Emma Frost and Scott Summers have brain sex at number 1 at the bottom.
Okay.
Like I'm actually supporting you. I'm giving you some credence to support your favorite X-Men.
So where would you put Power Pack now that you've read it?
You get Power Pack a 6 or a 7, right? Like I think these are fun books. I don't think they're the best books ever written in life, right? Like it's not like, I'm not picking this up and going, man, like if I never read a comic again, I'd want it to be, this. So it's not that, but what it is for me at that 6 or 7 level is a fun book that I can pick up and read and enjoy, right?
You're wrong. It's a 9. It's a 9. You're wrong. Yeah, Just stop talking.
Well, that's Travis's opinion. It's a book I think anybody.
That's in the dictionary.
I think anybody should pick up a book like this, and I think I've said this stress this enough with this book. when I read comics, sometimes I just want to read them to enjoy them. If, for example, I know you're not reading it, but like Joshua Williamson's run on Green Arrow, since the DC, they're about 20 issues in, has been great because it's focused on similar themes to this. Travis, I actually think you'd really like it. It's focused on family. It's focused on like the core tenets, but it's not a ripoff of like a Mike Grell Green Arrow story, right? It's not all dark like that. It's been kind of fun. And he did have a dark thing, but his family saved him. And I enjoy reading the book in the same way I enjoy reading this. Like, I sometimes like reliving a book and it just being enjoyable. And so sometimes this is books I gravitate for. And you know what? I've had a lot of recent struggles just in life, just with really shitty things going on. And so you picked a perfect book for me right now to read, and it's been great. And
Super chill.
I can't, again, I'm not going to say this is the best book I've ever read in my life, but here's what's great about it. The writing's solid. The art is amazing. It's well put together. And it's easy to read. I sat down and I read the first issue right for the podcast, and then I read the rest of it all in one sitting. So, when I say a 6 or a 7, that's not a slight, right? Like, that is a compliment. And not all books have to be a fucking 10.
All books should be a 10, according to my friends. According to the internet.
The internet's stupid. Yeah, and this is a high recommend. I recommend this book to anybody to pick it up and just enjoy it. There are some things I don't like about the book. I haven't dwelled on them a lot during this conversation or during our conversation about the book, because I don't want to focus on the negative with this because it's so much fun. What I would say are my drawbacks on the book from like ranking it higher.
It's about
Number
kids,
one,
which is kind of a little meh.
well, yeah, I think if I was, it'd be a higher rank for me, probably like, if there's a little bit more surprise in the storytelling or a couple more hooks. But at that, like, I don't want to get too into it, right? Like, the story is fairly straightforward. It's extremely predictable. Also, it's not written for a 50-year-old, right? Well, it kind of is. We talked about that before.
It is kind of, yeah.
It is kind of. But it's written for both, right? And I think that Louise does a good job of, one, writing it for the audience that we talked about before. But two, I could hand this to a 10-year-old and they could read the story and get excited about the book. And if we're rating it on that scale, it is a 10 out of 10. Because Louise knows her audience, writes to the audience, and does a successful job getting that audience involved in the story. So if we're ranking it that way, yeah, 10 out of 10. But you asked me to rank it in the scale of all comics forever and ever.
Yeah, because I wanted to see if you were right. And like you said, in the dictionary, you're wrong.
Yeah. And, I figured you would tell me I was wrong.
I'm always going to tell you
yeah, wrong. And that's the great thing about this. Louise's writing here really does hook in the two target audiences. And that's the other thing too, right? Like, a lot of comics right now, and media for that matter, right, are trying to cash in or capture a very specific audience. I mean, you look through social media has segmented the fuck out of everybody. And so, when you're doing something like this, you are writing a book and you're trying to get 50,000 people to buy it, right? And if 50,000 people buy the first run, then you're going for the follow-up graphic novel and hoping it like takes off, right? And honestly, if you got 25,000 people to buy the book on your first run, especially for a mini series of a group you're pulling back in like this, probably consider it a success at this point, right?
I would consider it a success at 5,000 or even 3,000.
Yeah. Well, with an imprint like Marvel or DC, I'm going to put that up 25, 30,000. But yeah, I mean, it's a different world these days, right? You're not throwing a million books out there. So in this case, like, I think it hits its audience. It does a great job with the audiences there, and it's a fun book. You're still gonna be mad about my ranking, but that's okay.
I'm not actually mad about your ranking. I was pretty happy with it, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm super happy with the book. So
And I will say this has been an amazing adventure with you as we battled through space. We took on the snarks. We saw
yeah,
the world almost get blown up. No, wait, you didn't. This wrong book. Wrong book. Thinking about
we
Franklin.
battled Travis's exhaustion.
Yeah, this is the most exhausted I've been on your podcast. I don't know why. I was like, but I do want to say, if you have me on the show again, we're gonna go gay.
I don't need to go gay on the show. I mean,
I'm
gay all
just
the time.
saying, it's time for you to come out on.
Already come out on the show.
Are you taking this from me? You taking my moment when I get you to come out?
Are we getting bad characters that Marvel decides to have come out?
Oh my god! Oh my god! So
Travis wants to do some Alpha Flight.
Alpha Flight, yeah. I was holding up Alpha Flight. So, yeah. If you ever let me on the podcast again, I'm gonna make you read Alpha Flight.
I have some instructions to read some Alpha Flight from Travis.
You were talking about divided. You were talking about the world's divided and stuff. So we're gonna do the Divided We Stand book that the trade that came out. Was it 2 years?
Fast. So you can catch up, read that. Greg may be back soon. I did a thing. And you know what I did for Greg?
Brown copy?
Nope. I went and got all the Booster Gold floppies. The original Dan Jurgens run.
It's like $8.
Yeah, that first one costs a little bit of money now. Because for some reason, people think his first appearance is worth something because he's going to be in movies and shit.
They're going to put Booster Gold in a movie?
Yeah, they are. Are you sad? Look, okay. Unequivocally, the Booster Gold Justice League Unlimited episode, quite possibly the best episode.
I don't remember it. I know.
It was the one. I will send it to you so you can go back and watch it. The whole Justice League is fighting Mordru the Sorcerer. And they send Booster Gold to basically be on traffic duty. And then the fighting Mordru ends up being the B plot. And Booster Gold goes on his own A plot where he saves the entire universe. But nobody believes him at the end.
Okay, to be fair, that's pretty funny. It's also really funny because he has one of the best moments in that Batman movie. It came out in 2017. I think Batman and Hurley, where he's on the phone with Robin. He's like, "Well, I could get, well, I could come out."
No. Also, if you listen to the Human Target episode, you will know that the Booster Gold's pre-toasted bagels have become a staple on this podcast, and Greg and I discussing whether pre-toasting is a real thing or not. And honestly, too, I think I know you're not a huge Booster Gold fan, so I know you never read it, but like the relaunch book on Booster Gold, where he becomes like this hero that has to keep his being a hero a secret, was really good. And he's bouncing through time all the time, and you know, they've done a lot. I mean, Booster Gold's come a long way. And obviously, Booster Gold in the JLI was great. Booster Gold and Blue Beetle was fantastic.
I
mean, they're right here. They're right here. See? They're your favorite two characters. You got to admit, Giffen and DeMatteis knew what to do with the characters.
Just some toasted Lay's chips.
Pre-toasting. There is no pre-toasting.
You're
on the side that pre-toasting doesn't exist, right?
And the chips.
Pre-toasting's impossible, right? You're on the side of my side, right?
Why do rigid chips taste better than flat chips?
Why are you off on this? Like, what is happening?
I don't know, Terry. All right,
that's what happens when you see Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. You immediately
my brain melts.
Disengage.
Yeah. Well, maybe someone put a brain block in me.
Well, you know what? I actually believe that you do need a brain block in you. Otherwise, the world would bend. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure doing the episodes with you. You, of course, will come back on the show, or you may come back on a different podcast that's a version of the show.
We'll see what happens.
See what happens.
Or maybe we'll do the next show live from the studio.
Oh, we could do a show live from Las Vegas at the end of the month.
I'll get some footage of us walking around doing
It happen.
stuff.
I mean, it might happen. I mean, by the time this podcast comes out, I will be near Vegas, and Travis and I may be attending Aging Bloated Rockstar concert.
Veggie bloated rock stars. Those are delicious.
And Caesar is about to end the podcast right here.
Caesar's coming out for a say goodbye. You come here, buddy?
So
No, he doesn't.
Julia has abandoned me. So
All right.
well,
it was
before I
great
lose
talking
my
to you,
headphone
fans.
again, we should wrap this up. Travis, we'll have a Kickstarter online when this podcast comes out. It is Albert Poon's Nemesis, The Return of Alex Rain.
Oh yeah, and actually I'll have Bad Future coming out,
And you will
which
have
is over.
A Bad Future is Arising.
Well, Bad Future just got hit, even though it hasn't gone out on Kickstarter as of the time of this podcast. It was already sent as a project we love ahead of time
Oh, there you
because
go.
of who's all involved. Not because of me, but there's some other really great creators on there that I get to share that with, and so we got that cool little projects we love stamp.
Well, there you go. And it's right here. I can see it right now.
Yeah, just Bad Future on Kickstarter or not.
And I even made a link to Travis's Kickstarter too. So we can do that. And then on top of that, Greg has a book out. You might have heard of it. Absolute Zero's Camp Launchpad. If you order the hardcover, Greg will personally send you a signed MXPX CD. So there's that. You should pick it up. I know summer's over, but it's now a reader for kids in school. So pick it up. You'll read it. They'll read it. Everybody will be happy. It'll be super fun. And on top of that, I am living in the basement, except I will be appearing in Vegas. So it's kind of weird. I guess I'm going to have to leave the basement to go to Vegas. But it'll happen. And then you also, are you struggling? Here, I want to do this like one of those Instagram reels. Are you a male in your 30s struggling with your job and your fitness? Why do they start ads with rhetorical questions, Travis?
Oh, because it's called action.
But it's not. It's literally the opposite, and you're excluding large chunks of your audience by asking the question.
Does your dog have
Well, anyway,
fleas?
if some of those things are true, you might want to employ, engage, acquire the services of one jiu-jitsu lawyer, Paul, at Certified Martial Arts, where you can be trained to tap people out, or you could get his services to be your employment lawyer, and he could tap out the competition, make sure that your rights are protected. See where I went there?
You see where you went, and it was wonderful.
It was awesome. And if you go to Kent, Washington, you might even be able to find the Retro Emporium, where you can relive your childhood. You might find Ann there. You might find Greg there. And you might find Travis, if you ever came back here, Squatcho Man.
Squatcho Man thing.
Oh, yeah. The Employee of the Month. So that's it. That's all the plugs. We will see you next time. Very likely with the Booster Gold #1 from 1986, 85, 86. And if not, it'll be Alpha Flight. So that's where we're at right now. It's going to be one of those two things. That's it. And we will see you next time. Before Travis passes out. Goodbye.